book up wide and meet adventures that await for you. Live and learn and laugh and play whenever your dream comes true. You could swim along the river all the way to the sea. You could fly up in the sky above the clouds and trees. You could plant a flower garden up on top of the moon. You could swing through the jungle all afternoon. Wherever our story takes us, I can't wait to see. Yes, friends, come and read with me. It's Online Storytime.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Online Storytime at your Grand Rapids Area Library. I'm Miss Tracy.
I'm Teacher Missy.
And we are so excited to have you with us today. Hey Teacher Missy, before we start talking about this really fun thing we're going to start talking about. Before we start talking about the thing we're going to talk about, as soon as we start talking about it, should we sing?
I think we should sing before we talk about it.
I think that's a great idea. Storytime friends, would you sing with us? Get your clappers ready, whatever you're clapping. Here we go. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, clap your hands. Oh, that was delightful. I think I heard some people clap their knees too.
Oh yeah.
There's lots of
things.
things.
Definite sound.
Lots of things a person could clap. So, my friend, what do you want to talk about?
Well, this is kind of a fun thing to think about. Well, you guys, what is this? Storytime friends, anybody know what that is? Do you recognize that? You're right, it's a mailbox. We're going to talk about mail today.
Mail? Teacher Missy, so what is mail?
Well, when somebody wants to get something to you, but they're not there to hand it to you, like a letter or an announcement or a birthday card, you can put it in the mailbox or take it to the post office.
Oh my goodness.
And they will deliver it to you.
So they will bring it. So if I wanted to mail you a letter, because Teacher Missy and I live maybe about 15 miles apart or so. So if I wanted to mail you a letter, I could take it to the post office, or I could put it in my mailbox and lift up the flag, because that tells the mail carrier that there's something waiting.
Right. When the red flag is up, there's mail for him or her to take.
That's right.
If it's down, then you check your mailbox and see if they have left you any mail.
And then it would go from my house to Teacher Missy's house. So Storytime friends, do you have people who live far away from you who might send you a letter every now and again? Sometimes grandparents might send a card or a birthday card or a Christmas greeting. It is so much fun to get mail.
It is fun to get mail.
And it's fun to get packages too, because that's a big surprise.
Yes.
So mail is really very important. Hey, do you have any good books about mail?
I just happen to have some books about mail. Miss Tracy, look.
Oh my goodness, there's a pig on a mailbox.
A pig on a mailbox. What's that pig holding?
A letter.
A letter. And she's sitting, or he's sitting, I don't know if that's a girl or a boy. It's a pig on the mailbox, and it's called The Giant Hug. The Giant Hug. And it was written by Sandra Horning and illustrated by Valerie Gorbachev. We're going to find out about this little piggy. And this little piggy comes to us from Alfred Knopf, New York. That's our publisher. Without them, we would not have this book to read. There's the little piggy. What do you want to send Granny for her birthday? Owen's mom asked. Oh, a giant hug, Owen replied. He opened his arms as wide as he possibly could to show how big the hug could be. Do you want to draw a picture of you hugging Granny? His mother asked. No, Owen said. I want to send a real hug. I'll give the mailman a hug and ask him to send it to Granny. They gathered their letters and walked to the post office in town. Soon they got to the front of the line and Mr. Nevin called out, "Next!" there they are in line at the post office. Have you ever been to the post office, boys and girls? It's kind of fun to see how that works. I want to mail a hug to my granny. Will you send it, please? Owen used his most polite voice. Well, we don't normally send hugs, but I suppose I could give it a try, said Mr. Nevin. Owen's mother wrote down Granny's address for Mr. Nevin, and Owen walked behind the counter, opened his arms as wide as he could, and he gave Mr. Nelson a giant hug. Please make sure that this hug is just as giant when you pass it on to the mailman, Owen said. He wants it to be big like he made it. Look at here, he is giving him a big hug. Oh, I won't see the mailman who delivers it to your granny. I give the mail to Mrs. Porter, who sorts it and puts it on a truck. After that, it is put on a plane, and it's flown across the country, he said. Well, now you'll have to hug Mrs. Potter then, Owen said. Mr. Nevin carried the mail to Miss Porter. Boy, that mail goes through a lot of steps, doesn't it? Mr. Nevin looked down awkwardly at Mrs. Porter, and he handed her the mail and the address of Owen's granny. He blushed and mumbled, here's the hug. Mr. Nevin opened his arms as wide as he possibly could, and he gave Miss Porter a giant hug. Look at her face. Oh, this is so cute. Miss Porter smiled as she sorted the mail. Just then, the driver came to collect the mail bound for the big city. As the driver lifted the last bag of mail, Miss Porter said, Leroy, one more thing. Someone is sending a huge hug to his granny. Here's the address, and here's the hug. Miss Porter opened her arms wide as she could and gave Leroy a giant hug. Leroy laughed and he said, now that's a piece of mail you don't see very often. Leroy whistled on the way to the big city after unloading the mail. He checked the schedule to see who was driving the mail to the airport. It read, James. Leroy found James in the break room, and he was eating his morning snack. Hi, James. I know this seems a little odd, but a huge hug is being sent through the mail to someone's granny, and here's her address, Leroy said. Leroy opened his arms as wide as he could, and he gave James a giant hug. James cringed. He was not the hugging type, but he would do it because of his job. Some people don't like to be hugged. Some people do like to be hugged.
Yep. And it's always nice, it's always best to ask.
To ask somebody first, that's
Absolutely.
right. Later that afternoon, James arrived at the airport and he asked the mail handler when the mail was going to be loaded onto the plane. Well, the mail has to be taken in a few minutes, the handler said. James rushed to the plane where Captain Johnson was getting ready to board. Captain, a kid is sending a hug through the mail to his granny. Here's the address and here's the hug, James said with a grimace. James opened his arms up wide as he possibly could, and he gave the captain a giant hug. Now, isn't that a grand way to start the day? Captain Johnson bellowed. When the plane landed, Captain Johnson walked to the airport office. He saw Amanda standing next to the mail truck, looking sad. Hello, are you driving the truck to the city? Captain Johnson asked. Amanda nodded, glumly. A hug is being sent through the mail, Captain Johnson announced. Captain Johnson opened his arms as wide as he possibly could, and he gave Amanda a big hug. Amanda brightened up and said, "Thank you." She bobbed her head to the music as she drove. After unloading the mail, Amanda went to find Chad, the driver who was taking the mail to Granny's town. Well, they're getting a little closer, it sounds like.
Right.
Little closer. Chad, a hug is being sent through the mail here. Here's the address, and well, here's the hug, Amanda said as her face turned red. Amanda opened her arms as wide as she possibly could and gave Chad a giant hug. Chad chuckled and said, finally, do you want to go dancing tonight? Oh, I'd love to, Amanda said. Chad kicked up his heels and hopped in his truck. Early the next morning, Chad drove to Granny's town. As he prepared to return to the city, he remembered the hug. Well, who will be delivering the mail to Penside today, Chad said. Shelley, but she's not here yet, said Mrs. Greenberg, and she adjusted her glasses. Well, please pass this along to her, Chad said. He opened his arms as wide as he possibly could, and he gave Miss Greenberg a giant hug. Miss Greenberg gasped with surprise, and her glasses tilted to the side. Shelley, I need a word with you, Mrs. Greenberg called. A hug is being sent through the mail to a boy's granny, and you are the mail woman delivering it, said Mrs. Greenberg. Mrs. Greenberg opened her arms as wide as she possibly could, and she gave Shelley what? That's right, a giant hug. Granny will be delighted, Shelley exclaimed. Shelley stopped to smell the flowers as she delivered mail from the door to the door. She saw Granny out in her garden. Miss Lewis, I have a special delivery for you, Shelley said. Your grandson has sent you a hug. Shelley opened her arms as wide as she possibly could. Oh, and gave Granny a giant hug. Okay, come on, go. Cooperate. Granny grinned and said, that is the most wonderful piece of mail I have ever received. You send that grandson of mine a big kiss. Granny puckered up her lips and gave Shelley a big wet kiss on the cheek. Oh boy. Oh boy. It got there.
Teacher Missy, I love how that book shows the many different stages mail has to go through to get where it's going.
Yeah, it's quite a long process. It goes through many, and it depends on where you send it. If you send it far away, it might have to take more than one plane. It might have to, be loaded on a big truck. There are big mail trucks that haul and little mail trucks. Yeah, there's quite a process there. It'd be fun to find somebody to write to.
Hey, story time, friends. Hey, Teacher Missy.
Yes.
Do you know what time it is?
Oh, I hope I
It's flannel time. Oh yeah, it's flannel time.
Yay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Would you do a flannel project with us? All right, so if you notice on the board, we have 3 envelopes. Now, it was mail that was delivered to all of us. If we look at who it's addressed to, and the address goes right here, it says Storytime Friends, 140 Northeast 2nd Street. That's our address. That's the address to the library. Grand Rapids, that's the name of our city. Minnesota is our state, and 55744 is our zip code. Okay, so it's addressed to all of us. Now, if you notice, they have stamps in the corner, but they're missing something.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, in a letter, up here in the corner is something called the return address. It's the person who sent it to you.
Right.
And they put it on there just in case they might get lost in the mail, and then they know where to send it back to. But these don't have any return addresses. So I think we are going to have to figure out who sent these letters. Can you do that with us? Okay, and of course, we have a song that goes with it. Oh, you know what? Teacher Missy might need her words.
Perfect.
Words for Teacher Missy.
Words for me.
Here we go. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Getting mail is so much fun. Let's see who sent this one. This lovely little letter in the mail. Who do you suppose sent this letter? Let's read it and find out. I'm going to open up the envelope. There's our letter.
Oh, there's a letter in there.
There is. Let's see what it says. Dear friend, I'm lonely. Can you please put a friend in my bowl?
In your bowl.
In my bowl. Storytime friends, can you think of an animal that might live in your house in a bowl?
In bowl.
I'll read it one more time. Dear friend, I'm lonely. Can you please put a friend in my bowl? And it's signed, Love Fish.
Oh, sure.
We got a letter from our friend Fish. Oh, and there's Fish. Yes, Fish. We'll get you a friend very, very soon. Yeah, I'm going to put this letter back because I don't want to lose it. That was a great letter. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Getting mail is so much fun. Let's see who sent this one. Oh, this lovely little letter in the mail. Okay, I'm gonna open it up because there's no return address. We don't know who this came from. Are you ready? It's another letter. Dear friends, can you please visit me? I want to show you my new nest.
Nest.
One more time. Dear friends, can you please visit me? I want to show you my new nest. Who do you think this letter is from, Storytime friends? I think you're right. I think Bird sent that letter.
Of course, that makes such good sense.
Bird would like to have somebody visit Bird in their nest. Hi, Bird. Nice job, Storytime friends. Okay, we have one more letter. And again, it has our address, but no return address. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Oh, I got a lovely letter in the mail. Getting mail is so much fun. Let's see who sent this one. This lovely little letter in the mail. All right, let's see. Open it up. There's our letter. Dear friends, maybe we can play fetch soon. What's fetch, Teacher Missy?
Well, that's like when you throw a ball or a stick, and then somebody goes and gets it and brings it back to you.
Oh, Storytime friends, do you have any maybe animals that like to play fetch? I'll read the letter one more time so we get it down.
Okay.
Dear friends, maybe we can play fetch soon? I wonder who wrote that. Oh, do you think so? I think you might be right, Storytime friends. I think our friend Dog wrote
perfect.
that letter. Look at that, Storytime friends. We got some mail. We had to use our detective skills, and we figured out that Fish, Bird, and Dog sent us all mail. Hey, thanks for playing.
Miss Tracy, look.
Oh, I see a package on the front of
Do
that.
you see a package? I do too. And I see a boy and a dog and maybe a mom or a sister or a friend. That dog is looking at that box. It's called the Lost Package. Oh no. A lot can happen between the post office and its destination.
That's right.
This was written by Richard Lowe and illustrated by Jessica Lonan. And it comes to us from Roaring Brook Press. Let's find out how that package got lost. Did it get lost? Like other packages, this one began as just an empty box. It was packed with great care and sealed very tightly and given a personal touch. Looks like she's got something to mail. At the post office, it was weighed, and then it was stamped, and then labeled, and then it was loaded onto the mail truck. Like other packages, it was taken to a building with wondrous machines that zip mail through a maze of moving belts. Look at all that stuff coming down onto this big conveyor belt, and it's going up here and down there and up there, and that's got a long way to ride there. Machines that tumbled and separate, scan and measure, sort and route. Like other packages, this one was headed to the airport. But before it got there, look, it looks like the truck might have hit a bump here. Here's that little box. Kind of flying through the air there. I don't know what's going on. Oh, it flew. Look what happened. It came right out of the truck. Here it is. Oh boy. Now it was what? It was lost. The truck went on without the box, and here it sits on the street. Like other lost packages, this one seemed hidden, invisible, and forgotten. Until, oh, here comes that dog and the boy and the woman down the street. It was found. Look it, the dog found the box. The package was tattered and muddy, but its destination was clear. Destination is a big word. That means where it was supposed to go. The destination is like the address. Like all packages, this one was sent with hope. That neither snow or rain or heat or gloom of night would keep it from being delivered. Not all packages travel the same road. Some get lost, some get found. And what do you think happened there? That box was found by them. How did it get to these people? They delivered it, didn't they? But most end up where they were meant to be.
Did they make new friends, Teacher Missy?
They did. They delivered that with the...
So they saw the address.
They saw the address. They saw the address on the box, and they were able to deliver it themselves to the people it was supposed to go to before it fell out of the truck.
Oh, I bet you they were very grateful.
I bet they were very grateful, and that can happen.
Hey, Storytime friends. Hey, Teacher Missy.
Yes.
Do you want to learn a new rhyme about the mail?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Storytime friends, what I'd like you to do... Excuse me, I thought I heard something. Hang on. Of course. Storytime friends. Elephant would like to join us today. Hello, Teacher Missy.
Good morning, Elephant.
Hello, Storytime friends! Yay! I'm glad to see you. I know, isn't it a fun day? It is. I know. It's crazy fun today. Elephant's going to sit there so they can join us. All right, so here's how the rhyme goes. And I need you to use your hand, and we're going to pretend like we're knocking on a door. And it's called Early in the Morning. Early in the morning at 8 o'clock, the mail carrier comes to knock. Knock, knock. We could knock on here. Up jumps Ella to open the door. 1 ladder, 2 ladders, 3 ladders, 4. Wasn't that fun?
That was very
Let's try it again. And if you want to knock on something, you can. Early in the morning at 8 o'clock, the mail carrier comes to knock. Up jumps Ella to open the door. 1 ladder, 2 ladders, 3 ladders, 4. Oh my gosh, it must be fun to get 4 letters. Okay, now Storytime friends, out of your Storytime kit, there's my Storytime kit. I would like you to find your shaker, whatever you want to shake today. Because we have a couple of really cool songs. And I'm trying to find a shaker for Teacher Missy. Oh, Teacher Missy, there's a shaker over there by you.
Here it is, I feel it.
There's 2 of them, actually. Let me show Storytime friends which ones you chose. This is the one that Teacher Missy chose today. Some bottle caps in a plastic container.
I know, and it makes such a fun sound.
I know, and you can shake whatever you want. You know, and if you don't have a shaker right now, you can always clap your hands too, okay? This first song is called The Mail Carrier Song, and this is how it goes. Stamp the envelope, stick the flap right down, write the address on the front and mail it to that town. Write your cards and lots of letters too. I will bring them to your friends and they will write to you. Isn't that fun? When you're singing that song, it's like you're pretending you're a mail carrier. Should we try that again? All right, here we go. Stamp the envelope and stick the flap right down. Write the address on the front and mail it to that town. Write your cards and your letters too. I will bring them to your friends and they will write to you. Oh my goodness, that's so much fun to write mail and get mail. Now there's another song about a mail deliverer, and guess what it's called? I'm a Mail Deliverer. Ready to learn a new song? Okay. I'm a mail deliverer on your street. When I'm at your mailbox, we can meet. I deliver letters and packages too. Anything in the mail that comes for you. I'm a mail deliverer, I drive a car. My road takes me near and takes me far. When I'm done delivering my mail to you, I drive back home and check my mail too. Isn't that funny to think a person whose job is a mail deliverer, they also get mail at home. So just like we all check mail when we get home, so do they. Do you want to sing it again? Okay, here we go. I'm a mail deliverer on your street. When I'm at your mailbox, we can meet. I deliver letters and packages too. Anything in the mail that comes for you. I'm a mail deliverer, I drive a car. My route takes me near and takes me far. When I'm done delivering my mail to you, I drive back home and check my mail too. Oh goodness, friends. Hey, thanks for singing with me. Oh, Teacher Missy, what a fun day today.
This was really fun.
We learned about how the mail gets through all of those belts and pulleys and machines and
That's
to get
good.
it all sorted, and
That
then
makes
sometimes
sense.
it falls off the truck anyway. I know, it happens. But thankfully some good friends helped out. And what a silly thing that they pretended they sent a hug through the mail. Does that really happen?
I don't think so, but what a fun thing to think about.
It is a fun thing to think about. And we figured out who sent us mail, addressed to us, who are the Storytime friends. Fish and bird and dog. They all sent us great letters. Now though, I think it might be time for us to go in case we have to go check our mail.
Well, I do have to check my mail. It comes about this time to my house every day.
Excellent. All right, Storytime friends, would you sing with us? Okay, here we go. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Yes, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Story time is done today. Now it's time to go and play. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Goodbye, everybody.
Check the mail.